Welcome to the Painting Coach, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to paint the bright-winged Tornus The Redeemed from the brand new Stormcast Eternals range. A huge thank you to Games Workshop for sending me this model early ahead of time. I had a lot of fun painting him, I had a lot of fun experimenting with those massive yellow wings, so let's get painting. Now the first thing I did was prime the model black using Chaos Black spray, and then I sprayed the model using Leadbelcher. I've left the wings off and I've sprayed them with white Scar. Just to make it easier, I will be going back in with some Leadbelcher, or if you've got a dark aluminium, just to paint those metallic parts off camera. The first thing I want to do is shade all of the silver metallics, and the colour I'm going to use for this is Nuln Oil. So it's a really easy and straightforward step. All you need to do is just paint it over all the silver areas. Just take care that it doesn't pull too heavily in one spot. Now I wanted to make this a slightly brighter silver than I traditionally do, with a little bit of a blue hue to it. So to that end, I then took some Grey Knight's Steel, which is a nice blue steel colour, and then I used this to highlight those areas that are going to catch the most light. And in reality, I painted most of the silver armour panels with this because most of them are going to catch light. Those ones that are facing down, I didn't worry about those too much. And as you get into it, you realise there's not actually a huge amount of silver on Tornus because he's so much robe and winged area, but just take your time and get some nice even layers of this Grey Knight Steel. I then took a 50-50 mix of chrome from Vallejo Model Air and that Grey Knight Steel. I've continued with the highlighting, again focusing on those areas that catch the most light. I started to stipple this on a little bit as well, so it would just ease in terms of the transition, and I wouldn't have quite a harsh gap between the lighter and the darker parts of the model. The final step was an edge highlight using pure chrome. Now again, this is fairly powerful, so try and use it as sparingly as you possibly can. There's a lot of edges to Tornus, so you can drag the brush along them to get nice crisp highlights fairly easily. With the silver done, we'll move on to the gold. So I'm basing all of those areas using Retributor Armour. Now take your time around the areas you've already finished. You don't want to spill it, but again, some of those areas where you haven't actually finished or started painting yet, you can afford to be a little bit more messy. In terms of the areas I'm painting with gold, there's that left shoulder pad. There's a lot of trim on Tornus. And don't forget his forearm vambraces, there's different patterns on each one, as well as that nice spectacular headdress that he's got behind him, and obviously parts of the weapon and elements of the wings as well. I'm then going to shade all of that gold using Reikland Fleshshade. Now, when I'm applying this, it's a fairly straightforward step, but again, very similar to the Nuln Oil from the last step. Try to make sure it doesn't pull too heavily in any of those recesses, because you'll get some nice and nasty dark areas. And similarly, be careful that it doesn't run off into some of those steel areas. We'll start highlighting the gold using Glistening Gold from Two Thin Coats. If you haven't got this, you can use Liberator Gold. It works absolutely fine. And generally what we're looking to do is paint large areas that are catching lots of light. So this isn't so much an edge highlight to start with. We'll do that in the next step. For now, we're just highlighting those brightest parts. Now, if you're not 100% sure, you can always check the box art on this as well. The final highlight on the gold is with white gold from Pro Acryl, and this is where we're really going for those edges. So we're going to drag the brush along the sharp elements because that gives us a really nice highlight. If you haven't got white gold, try adding a tiny bit of chrome into something like Liberator Gold or Glistening Gold. Not a huge amount, but just a little bit, so it just lightens it ever so slightly to give you the pop effect you get. Now with the metallics done, I just want to black in some of the other elements, in particular all of the robes. So I'm taking some AK black to do this and just working my way around. Obviously, any elements that are going to be black anyway, I'll paint them. But I'm just getting all the leather done as well because it's going to make it a bit easier to do the next few steps. For all the blue robes, I'm going to base them using Kantor Blue. Now, this will go down over that black base coat quite nicely. Again, the key is to be careful around areas you've already finished. Just take your time there. Build this up in about 2 thin layers so that you get nice even coverage all across the robes. To start highlighting the robes, we'll do a 50-50 mix of Caledor Sky and Kantor Blue. And what I'm looking to do here is just paint this on the folds, leaving the Kantor Blue in the recesses. So we're not going to use any shade paint, we're just going to use the actual layer paint, and that's going to give us a nice smoother transition. Work your way around. If you do spill any into the gaps, just take some Kantor Blue and fill it back in. This is a fairly easy, straightforward step. I should say as well, whilst I'm using the blue, I'm also painting that right shoulder pad, and I'm painting the trim around the chainmail under the shoulders as well. We'll then continue layering up the highlights on the blue robes using pure Caledor Sky. Again, very similar to the previous step, we're just going to cover slightly less of an area, focusing it towards the top of the folds and the edges of the cloth. And again, because we're painting very similar colours on top of each other, they'll be quite thin as well. When they dry, they'll blend down into the layer underneath a little bit. The first bright highlight we're going to do is a mix of Caledor Sky and Teclis Blue. And what we're looking to do here is focus this on the absolute sharpest raised areas. Again, make sure you haven't got too much on your brush and you've thinned it with a little bit of water. You can always go back in and add more later if you need to. But generally, work your way around the cloak doing this and you'll start to build up that highlight. Again, if you feel it's a little bit too thick, then you could just use a little bit of pure Teclis Blue just to feather the edge a little bit so it looks a little bit more blended. We'll finish off the robes with a sharp edge highlight, and the colour we're going to use for this is Lothern Blue. So essentially, this is a straightforward and easy step. All we're looking to do is drag our brush along the sharp edges of the robe, catching a nice crisp highlight. If you do happen to go too thick, then you can always go back in and paint over it. But generally, this is a fairly straightforward step just to get that little bit of pop on the blue. Next up, we're going to base all of the white elements. So we've got a little bit of cloth going down the front of his body. The colour I'm using for this is Corax White. It's probably going to take me 2 thin layers to get this done. I'm also going to paint things such as the light in the lantern, and I'm going to paint the orb in the middle of his spear. I'm also going to paint that white Sigma symbol that he's got on his right shoulder pad as well. And any other areas which are going to be a lighter, brighter colour later on, I might hit with the Corax White. Once that's completely dry, I'm going to take a little bit of Soulblight Grey wash and put this all over the white areas. I'm also going to put it over the white Sigma icon on his shoulder. They're the only areas I'm going to use the Soulblight Grey on. Now, once the Soulblight Grey dries, if you need to put a little bit more Corax White on just to tidy it up a little bit, feel free to do that. I'm then going to take some AK White and sharpen the highlights on all of the white areas. If you haven't got AK White, you can use something like White Scar or Bold Titanium White from Pro Acryl. And essentially what I'm looking to do is drag the brush along the edges, very similar to how I did the blue highlights. This gives you a nice crisp highlight. The other thing I'm looking to do with the white is paint all of the items that are going to be glowing later on. So I'm going to put some of this inside the lantern. I'm going to paint Tornus' eyes. And I'm also going to paint the engraved scripture that is in the blade of his spear. Now, depending on how tidy you were on the wings, you may also want to go in and paint those with some AK White as well, just to bring that bright white back. We'll paint the haft of the spear and the gem on Tornus' thigh pad next. And we're going to base them using Mephiston Red. So this is a very easy, straightforward step. The Mephiston Red covers really nicely and really easily. So the key thing here is to make sure you don't spill it on any items you've already finished. We'll then wash that and the gem using some Nuln Oil. You don't want to put this on too thickly, but if you do, you can spread it out quite easily. Just clean your brush off first. The other thing you can do is also shade the gem more towards the top. So let it dry and then put another coat in, because this will just help accentuate the different colours of red we've got going on. Next up, once that's completely dry, we'll highlight the haft using Mephiston Red. Now there's quite a bit of texture on the haft, so generally you can pull your brush and grab most of the texture, but be careful not to get too messy. Just take your time, and if you need to, you can always add a little bit more shading later on. For the gem on the thigh plate, all we're going to do is drag the brush along the shape of the model to get that nice crisp line. We'll continue highlighting using Evil Sunz Scarlet, really focusing just on those areas that are going to catch the light. So we're really looking at the texture here rather than the internal part of the haft of the spear. Again, with the gem, we're highlighting along the edges and the ridges, keeping it inside the Mephiston Red from the previous step. This next stage is a bit optional when it comes to the haft of the spear. You don't have to do it, but I would recommend you do it on the gem. So I'm using some Wild Rider Red. And again, just highlighting inside the Evil Sunz Scarlet from the previous stage. Nice and easy and straightforward. Any issues, you can always correct it with either Mephiston or Evil Sunz Scarlet. For the gem, though, we're going to focus this more towards the centre. And to finish the gem, I haven't shown it on film, but I did just put a dot of Fire Dragon Bright. I figured there's no point putting that in the video. It's a really simple, straightforward step you can do if you want. We'll do all of the scroll work next, and I'm going to base it all using Zandri Dust. Now you'll notice as I apply this paint that it beads up a little bit in some areas. This is one of the drawbacks of using some of the metallic sprays on the market. All you need to do is just let it dry and then just continue to slowly build that layer up. So just be careful around what you've already finished, but just get nice crisp layers of Zandri Dust. I'll then layer up some Morghast Bone. Generally, I'm painting most of the scroll work with this, and I'm doing it in a fairly blotchy style, so it looks like old worn paperwork. I'm also dragging the brush down the edges to get some nice crisp highlights. Again, taking your time around the areas you've already finished. Now, the Morghast Bone doesn't cover fantastically, so you may need 2 coats. The last layer I'll do on all the scroll work is with some Scremaing Skull. Now, generally, I'm looking to paint horizontal lines all the way down the paperwork, because this just gives an aged feel to the parchment. I'm also looking to drag the brush along the edges to get a nice crisp highlight. Now, my secret weapon for text on scrollwork is this micron pen. You can see the parameters here. It is a 005 micron, which I think has got a 0.2mm nib on it. And all I'm doing is just dotting and dragging the pen tip across the scrollwork. You can, of course, use a paintbrush to do this. I just find it a bit more accurate using the pen. We'll get all the leather done next. I'm going to base it all using Dryad Bark, which is a nice, fairly desaturated brown colour. Fairly easy and straightforward. Just paint things like the belt and the straps on all of the ram braces. We'll then take a little bit of Gorthor Brown and highlight it. We're looking to catch the edges. If you put it on a bit thick like I have here, just take some more Dryad Bark, paint that in the middle, and that'll give you that crisp highlight. Now, you'll see on the box art that there's quite a lot of detail on the blue robes and the white robes on the front. Now, I'm not going to paint all of the detail because I haven't quite got the time to do it because I need to get this video out. But I will show you how to just paint the line going down the side of the blue cloak like I've already got on the one side. So what you need to do is make sure you take some white paint. I'm using AK White. And generally get a good tip on your brush and just paint a line down as steadily as you possibly can. Now, if you do make any mistakes or it looks a little bit wobbly, it's really easy to fix. All you need to do is just take the blue colour that you've got underneath and then paint it on. Generally, to sell this effect, what you're looking to do is make sure that the white line is the same distance from the edge of the cloak all the way round. So just take your time with this. You don't have to do this step. If you don't feel confident or you don't really fancy doing it, you don't have to. If you want to give it a go and paint over it, that's okay as well. Now, I'm also going to paint the blue line on the cloth here, and I will show you how I tidied this up as well. Because you can see it starts off okay, but then gets a little bit wobbly as I'm getting towards the bottom. So what I did was take some white paint and just tidy up that line either side, and that gave me a really nice effect on there. Like I said, I'm not going to paint all of the detail that the heavy metal team have put onto Tornus. I just wanted to show you how to do this if you wanted to accentuate it a little bit. Right, we'll get all the glowing bits done now, and this is the fun bit, I think. For the lantern itself, we're going to take some Lantern Yellow contrast paint and just paint this all over the inside of the lantern. Now, I've been a little untidy with some of my Corax White here, so it's a little bit messy, but once the Lantern Yellow's over it, it looks okay, it looks passable. So this is a really easy way of getting a yellow glow here. For the blue glow, such as on Tornus's reliquary on his belt and his eyes, we'll take some Aethermatic Blue contrast paint. Again, pop this on there. You don't have to worry about only having a tiny bit on your brush, because what we'll do is once it's in there, we'll clean our brush off and just soak up some of the excess, and that'll bring some of the white back out as well. So it'll help give us that really easy glow effect. For the orb and for Tornus's weapon, all we're going to do is take some Flash Gitz Yellow contrast paint and drag our brush over that area. This is going to fill that part with the yellow paint. Once we've dragged our brush across it, I'm just going to take a finger and wipe across. It'll take off any excess paint on the blade, whilst leaving the yellow colour there nice and brightly. If you don't want to do it with your finger, you can use your brush. Just make sure it's completely dry. Moving on to the wings then, and this really is the main event when it comes to Tornus. So I've still got that Flash Gitz Yellow contrast paint out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a little bit onto the wings, and then I'm going to add contrast medium to this mix. And I'm just going to gradually add this and drag it out across the wings and the flames until it's nice and thin. Now, the Flash Gitz Yellow is a single pigment contrast paint, which means it's really, really powerful. And I didn't think about this before I started painting. So because of that, I've had to take a lot more effort to actually thin it out on the model, to the point where I had to actually start taking paint away as well, which you can see towards the end a little bit. However, it's not a disaster. It's in the recesses, which is where it needs to be. The key now is to do this across all of the flames and all of the wings to get that effect. If you put too much on, it's okay. I'll show you how to add a layer on top of it so we get the brighter colours back. To give that slightly more orange effect on the tips of the flame, I'm going to take a little bit of Imperial Fist contrast paint and paint this onto those areas. Before it dries, I'm going to clean my brush and I'm going to dry it as well so it's only damp. And then I'm going to feather it into that Flash Gitz Yellow from the previous step. And there you get a nice little bit of a colour transition. Now, if you've gone too heavy with the yellow on the wings like I have, this is how you fix it. A little bit of a dry brush of Dawn Yellow, and you can also dry brush this across the flames as well, because it'll just help ease that transition and make them look very nice and vibrant. You can also layer Dawn Yellow over this if you really wanted to. Once that Dawn Yellow is done, I'm going to do the same using some AK White, just dry brushing the wing part of the flames. Again, if you want to use a layer, then mix some white in with the Dawn Yellow, and it should look quite nice and effective. The last thing I need to do is go back in with chrome and just tidy up some of those metallic elements that I made a bit of a mess of. And there we have it. Tornus the Redeemed is done and ready for the tabletop. I really enjoyed painting this model actually, and it was quite an experiment to get those bright yellow wings. I made a little bit of a mistake with them, however, I'm really happy with how they turned out, and they look nice and bright just like the box art. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and a comment down below. I'll see you next time.